Hello everyone and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. So far in our continuing series on environmentalism, we've discussed how former Eastern Bloc communists are the big push behind the environmental movement. We've also touched on why governments all around the world are so eager to advance the environmental cause, namely as an excuse to raise taxes and impose fines and increase their power. We've discussed how governments give your tax dollars to mad scientists so they can keep falsifying data about climate change and so keep the hysteria going. And we've discussed how the left-wing media is very happy to keep disseminating the junk science as actual news when it really is nothing more than ginned-up research. What's the real agenda here? Pretty simple, actually. The Green Movement uses junk science to claim that carbon dioxide emissions are causing catastrophic changes in the world's climate. Floods, hurricanes, the polar ice caps melting, polar bears being stranded. You've heard it all before. In order to prevent this pending disaster, therefore, carbon dioxide emissions must be reduced. They claim man is the main culprit here, so the total number of humans on the planet must be reduced through rigorous population control. Whatever means are necessary to reduce the number of humans or the amount of carbon dioxide produced by them must be employed. You reduce the number of humans through abortion, sterilization, contraception, and euthanasia. You discourage couples from having babies by imposing heavy fines and an annual child tax. You reduce the amount of carbon dioxide by limiting a wide array of activities like driving, flying, any use of electricity, etc. These draconian methods are so outlandish that the Greens need some allies to help them sell the craziness. Which brings us to the next level of cooperation. The environmentalists need religions to buy into their garbage to give it an air of respectability. But again, don't believe me, look at the facts here. The World Wildlife Fund, which is as good a place to start as any, was begun in 1961 as a way to collect funds for conservation. It became very big, very fast, as European socialists saw a vehicle for advancing more government control. Prince Philip of England, the husband of Queen Elizabeth of England, Prince Philip is actively involved with the group. In fact, he was the group's longest-serving president from 1981 to 1996. Now, to show you how nutty these respectable-looking environmental leaders really are, Prince Philip once said that when he dies, he wants to come back as a deadly virus to, quote, lower human population levels, end quote. No kidding. That from the husband of the Queen of England. With leaders like this, no wonder they need religion to give them some credibility. In 1990, Philip once explained that a major goal of the Green Movement was to get religious leaders involved so as to give them the whole movement a, quote, spiritual imperative. That was only 20 years ago. So how successful have the socialist Greens been in getting religious leaders involved? Very is the short answer. And of course, of all the religions on the planet, their main target has been, unsurprisingly, drum roll please, the Catholic Church. So, step back for a minute here and look at the big picture. Former communists have aligned themselves with ruling socialists to advance an agenda that Stalin himself could only have dreamed of, state control of virtually everything. In order to do this, they create a fake crisis, global warming, and then propose that the solution is reducing carbon dioxide emissions, what they laughingly call each person's carbon footprint. The means they propose for reducing overall carbon dioxide is to limit the number of humans through abortion, contraception, sterilization, euthanasia, and overall smaller families, with heavy fines and taxes for those who don't cooperate with the state. In order to push this agenda, they solicit the help of the world's religions, Catholicism in particular, and the world's religions get hoodwinked into going along with it because it sounds kind of spiritual or even theological. After all, don't we have a duty to preserve God's creation? Yes, but not through killing and sinning. Tomorrow, a look at how the Catholic Church has been sucked into the green hole by its own enemies all the way up to and including the Vatican. And of course, the American bishops are right in the middle of this, yet another liberal agenda item. Tune in tomorrow where we name names. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.